Welcome back, guys. Day-to-Day Gamer here, and today I'm going to show you how to find every single collectible across every desert in the yellow streamer area of the game, minus the main Scorching Sandpaper Desert area that you see me driving through here, because I've already covered that in a separate video. That one has a lot more collectibles. These ones all have a small amount. So let's start with the Scorching Sandpaper Miner. To get the first toad, you're just going to have to hit the cactus here with your hammer, and the beetle will come off and turn into a toad. There's also the first question mark block here in between all three cacti, so all you got to do is just jump up and hit that one. I'm wasting a bunch of time checking every single one for additional toads. There are none, just except for that one I already showed you. The second and final toad of this area is the one that looks like a little cactus here. It's actually not a cactus, it's a toad posing as one, which is obviously easy to miss if you're not paying attention, but it is in fact a toad. So hit that one with your hammer, listen to his little spiel. The next ones, you're gonna have to wait till the sun returns to the desert, and the big shroom temple here, Temple of Shrooms, is returned. After that, you're gonna come around to the backside here, and there's gonna be an area to dig, and your little toad buddy here is gonna have to dig in the sand, and there he's going to find the Professor Toad collectible treasure, and that is the final collectible in Scorching Sandpaper Miner. Moving on to the Eastern Scorching Sandpaper Desert, or whatever it's called. These names get really confusing after a while, and they all sound similar. Take care of the boo or sneak past them, and then go into the chest here, and you can claim your Paper Macho Boo collectible treasure, which will be the first and only one in Scorching Sandpaper East. After that, there are a couple holes, obviously, in this area, most of them pretty easy to find. The first one is this giant one here, which you can just jump onto this ledge and fill in with your confetti bag. That'll be the first hole, probably the biggest one of this area, I think, as well. After that, you'll want to head over to this sort of southern area. There's a small one here that kind of blocks your path getting in or out of this little dilapidated house. There's also another one around the corner by this broken down area. That will be 2 and 3, and then there'll also be a fourth one you can grab if you come all the way down here. There's a small one here that's sort of on the southeastern wall of this area here, and that will be hole number 4. The last hole is the one that you can kind of see in the background this entire time, this bigger one on the wall. Fill that one in, and that'll be all the not so bottomless holes in Scorching Sandpaper East. So moving on to the toads. If you actually break this pot right here, there's going to be 4 snakes that all sort of slither out. One of them stays in this area, and you can hit it with your hammer to gain access to a toad. The other 3 are also toads, but they've all kind of skittered off and are in hiding. So the first one is right around the corner of this little brick wall here. Hit it with your hammer, the camera view will change, and you'll get a little skit with that toad. From there, you're going to want to come all the way back down to the southern area from where you were when you broke that pot. And there's another one hiding very poorly behind this wall. Probably should have hit around the other side if you really didn't want to be noticed. But that'll be the next one. And then finally, if you come after you beat this boo, or you can sneak past them, whatever your choice is, there's another one that's hiding a little bit better than the last one in this little broken down area right here. And that will be all the snakes and 4 of the toads in this area. And the 5th and final toad and the final collectible of this area, if you come all the way to the western area of this eastern area, there'll be one that's stuck in the ground with his feet just sticking right up. Pull him out, and you'll claim your final toad and your final collectible of this entire area. Alright, so moving on to the western desert. We'll start with the holes here. There's a big one here on the southern area that's hard to miss. You can fill that one in. There's also, after I collect all these coins, because there's a lot of coins for that hole, there's also another one just to the west of that that's slightly smaller, but again, hard to miss as well. That will be 2 of the holes in this area. After that, you're going to want to head to the western wall, where there's one that if you didn't drive all the way to the west or walk all the way to the west, it's, I guess, possible to miss. Otherwise, it's pretty noticeable. That'll be hole number 3. The next one is on the northern, sort of northeastern area of this section. Again, on the wall, you can fill that one in. And the last hole in this area, hole number 5, you have to actually go into the shroom tower here. So it's not out in the sand area, and you'll have to fill in the hole that's on this sort of scripture or tablet here. And that will be all the not so bottomless holes. Alright, so moving on to the toads. Firstly, again, you'll want, like in a previous area, you're going to hit the cactus with your hammer, and then the beetle's going to jump off. You can smash the beetle. and that will be toad number 1. Next, you'll see that if we go to this area here, there's another cactus posing, or toad posing as a cactus, I should say. Again, quite poorly, but especially when it's right next to other cacti, and you can see that it's very different. So that'll be toad number 2. There's 3 toads that are all stuck in the ground around this cactus with a skull mask on it. They're all just peeking out with their heads. You can pull each one of them out and listen to their little spiel, and then they'll run off to freedom. But it's not just those 3 that are on the ground, because in fact, the cactus with the skull mask is actually a toad. It's not a skull mask. So hit that one in case you missed it, and that will be toad number 6 and all toads in this area. And in fact, all collectibles in that area. So next we're going to go to the Far East Desert, and we're going to do the holes there. There's one on the really far east of the Far East area. So fill that one in, and you'll also see in the background there's another one on the wall, which is the one we're going to be grabbing next. That's hole number 1 and 2, and in fact all the holes in this area. Next we'll do the toads. These ones are kind of interesting. So as soon as you approach, there's 2 scorpions that are in fact toads and 3 spinies. They're going to go into the ground, and you have to follow their pattern. So if you're not paying attention, if you're just waiting for them to come back up, that's not how it works. You have to actually dig with your toad buddy here to be able to claim the scorpions that are underneath, or if you accidentally hit a spiny, you're going to get into a battle. So you're going to have to follow the pattern around after you see it. So on the first one you'll see here, I only actually followed one of the scorpions, so I didn't want to risk getting into unnecessary battles. So I come back, and you can actually follow that scorpion, which you'll see is in the, well, I can't really tell you where it is. It's hard for me to describe, but you'll see that I get it on this one. He's in the top left corner there. So yeah, just follow. Hey, if you're talented enough to follow them both at the same time and hit them both, and good on you. If not, feel free to take the safe route. Do one at a time if you're wanting to avoid battles with those spinies. Unnecessary battles anyways. And then lastly, if you come up here to where it's the cactus, kind of right behind this bush here, which you might not see because of the bush, there's a toad stuck in the ground. You can pull them out, and that is all the toads and all the collectibles. Moving on to the Far West Desert. Man, there's so many deserts, and they all have very similar names. Right in this area here, there's all these boxes. Before you break the boxes, make sure you jump on them to be able to claim the question mark block. If you break the boxes, you'll have to exit and come back out for them to reset. Next, there actually is a treasure in this area, so you'll see this cactus that's completely surrounded by rocks. If you actually go around and break every single rock, this whole little section should be an indication that there was something weird going on here, the fact that it was all separated with rocks. But if you break every single rock, there'll be this sort of little cinematic that'll play, and there's a new dig spot that's created. Use your little buddy here to dig up the spiny trophy for yourself, the Mega Paper Macho Pokey. Oh god, was I calling them spinies or pokies? Someone was probably just pulling out their hair because of me calling them that. Next is the Bottomless Holes. There's not the Bottomless Holes. There's one in the south there, and then there's a big one here on the far west wall. And that's all for the holes in this area. And there's a single toad to wrap it all up. And that toad is just hiding in this little cactus bulb over here. Just hit it with your hammer, and you'll free him after you pull him out of the ground. And that is every single collectible across every desert except for the main Scorching Desert, which I have in a separate video, and I've linked here in case you want to see it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one.